time for another installment of Oh My God.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Oh My God episode of the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm joined in studio by Steve Rosenfield, who took 7th place in the Robert De Niro lookalike contest last year, and that's not a joke, he really won it.
I heard things.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Should we try this again?
Yeah, let's try this again. Ready? Go ahead.
What's the line?
You insult him a little bit.
You insult him a little bit. You insulted him a little bit.
I will leave that in. And next,
sorry, YouTube.
You have insulted him just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Next to him from Turner Classic Movies, you know it's Ben Mankiewicz. And the Oh My God segment, we play something from somebody religious. They say something crazy, and then we make fun of it. Today we're talking about Kelly Shackelford of Liberty Institute appeared on the Christian television program Joni. And along with David Burton to discuss the report that Liberty Institute and the Family Research Council, they used to be called the Family Research Assholes, but now it's called the they switched it around, gives them a little bit.
They still haven't done any research.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know why they even have that word.
And they still hate every family that isn't exactly like theirs.
That's right. That's very good points, you guys. So they were talking about a study that was done called the Survey on Religious Hostility in America. Because, you know, people are hostile against religion. I'm hostile to religion, but that's because no one else is. Right? That's why.
We're hostile to them now because they're bitching all the time.
Right, yes, because they're pretending.
We didn't used to be, but now we are.
So during the discussion, they were talking about in Texas last year, there was a young girl won the valedictorian. She was a valedictorian. She wanted to put a prayer in her speech. Somebody sued. It was in Texas. They said she got to do the prayer anyway because it's Texas, right? Constitution is optional. And so here they're talking about it, and let's just enjoy it.
The original lawsuit was by an agnostic family that felt like their child had a right to go to a graduation ceremony and never hear God. And, you know, I was like, you know what? The one thing we should all agree on, whether we're atheists or whoever, is that in this country... that
there's a separation of church and state, and you shouldn't be able to insinuate religion into a public happening that's being funded by public dollars. Is that the thing that we should all agree on? I don't know.
Well, let him say it. He's clearly going to say that.
He's on his way to say that?
Right, yeah.
No citizen ever has a right to go into court and to ask a judge to bind and gag another citizen. Right. If he didn't like what she was going to say in her valedictorian address, maybe he should have been the valedictorian, and he could have said what he wanted to say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, snap. See? Maybe if the heathen was a little better at school, he could also get to violate the Constitution publicly.
Maybe if he'd prayed to become the valedictorian, etc., etc.
This is all divine plan. God had the right person there.
God hates him, and that's why, etc.
Yes.
Yeah, that kid sounds gay.
The kid suing?
The agnostic kid sounds gay.
He sounds gay.
He sounds a little gay.
Yes, yeah. I'm with you on that. Okay, they have a little bit more to say.
But she won that right. She has a right to express herself.
There's that free speech you're talking about. And just like you talked about earlier, that if you live in America and you understand that we are a Christian society, then you can't be offended at things like that, or you shouldn't live here.
You can't be offended at if you live in America and they're going to put a prayer into the public schools graduation ceremony, you got to expect that, because even though it says it in our Constitution, we're Christian and we don't fucking follow it.
Christian society.
It's a Christian society. They just
I'm in trouble now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is disappointing news. By the way,
I'm not going to fit in. I was worried now, but now I'm not going to fit.
By the way, Joni fucking sucks.
The show, Joni?
The show. The entire show is a disappointing show.
I got you. Yeah, I'm with you. So now we'll switch gears. And
the good news is I think anyone can get a job on that Christian network.
It seems like it. You know what? I'm thinking about going Christian. I think that's where the money is.
Totally, man. Just pitch a show. They'll put it on, apparently.
You know, I'm not that I'm not having a hard time spending the money I get here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So here is...
Got quiet all of a sudden.
They've been trying to find out why the Republicans lost. Another gentleman, here's a guy, Staver, this guy named Staver. He's blaming Mitt Romney not being able to talk about conservative ideas like marriage, and that's why you'll hear what he has to say.
He could not speak about life or marriage, and so he didn't campaign in those states speaking about those issues and associating himself with marriage. Had he done so, his numbers would have gone up, and I bet the marriage polls would have gone up. Every time we get these mealy candidates like Romney or McCain, we have this problem, and then Republican pundits come up and say, oh, we need to change our position on marriage and abortion. I'm fed up with people on Fox News. You know, whether it's Sean Hannity or Bill O'Reilly, they think they just know everything.
Who thinks they know everything?
By the way,
Unlike this guy.
Yeah. That is a bad fucking sign for Republicans. Yeah.
Yes, when their base is being pissed off at Fox News.
Sean Hannity.
For not being conservative enough.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're upset about. See, again, the problem isn't their policies. The problem isn't that they're crazy and people rejected them. Their problem was they couldn't be conservative or crazy enough. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to 2016.
Don't you wish they would take those people's advice? You know, the fascists, if they would listen to the fascists, that'd be great for us.
Yes.
But they never listen to them. They always get those Romney guys.
Yeah, they get moderates.
We need more Nazis running for the GOP.
Yeah, run Rick Santorum. Let's see how many more votes he gets than Mitt Romney.
You know, at some point, Rick Santorum will make some concession, too, and that guy will be like, I'm tired of these guys, Hannity and Santorum, these sellouts, Limbaugh.
Yeah, Santorum, he pretends he's a real conservative just because he sleeps with his dead baby.
David Duke now wants to fund those ships to send the blacks back to Liberia. Right, they should pay for it themselves.
All right, so now in keeping with the election freak out of the right wing, here is Glenn Beck, right? So we haven't had Glenn on the show in a long time because he's not on TV anymore. But he does The Blaze, which I think is going to get picked up by Rupert Murdoch's satellite TV pretty soon. Well, here he is talking about, here's the day after the election. Here's Glenn Beck. Let's just enjoy it.
But it's suicide to sit back. And not just for my company or your company, but for the country. We don't have the luxury of time. I've been telling you for a while, and I've told my own staff, if the president wins, I don't know how we survive. I don't know how we survive the regulation that is coming for my industry.
Oh, yeah, you know how Barack Obama's going to over-regulate the telecommunications industry? Is this what he's saying? His industry.
On election day, I was driving home, like driving around the block, listening to Patriot Radio on Sirius, because they were just apoplectic.
Yes.
It was so great, right?
Yes.
And there's this guy named Jay Severin, he's a right-wing talk show host who I interviewed years ago.
Oh, really?
20 years ago in New York. He seemed like a totally normal guy. He's talking about this same thing. About it's coming. If you think you like talk radio, get ready. It's going away.
Really?
Yeah, they're now creating this thing. Obama's coming after talk radio.
What the
talk radio won. Why would he bother?
Why would he bother?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys help.
Right, exactly. Right. And by the way, right-wing radio is all of talk radio. It's like 95% right-wing talk radio. And it's all because of, so are they pretending that he's going to reinstitute the fairness doctrine? Is that what they're saying?
Who knows what they're saying, but he kept talking about, you think you like talk radio? It's going. Okay. He's coming to get it.
All right, but Glenn Beck, thank God, he goes on.
I don't know how we're going to survive the pressure and the tactics, because he has more flexibility now, and they remember their enemies. I don't know how we're going to survive because I won't compromise. I won't make a deal with the devil. I want you to understand this. Inflation is coming. The fiscal cliff is coming. The dollar fell last night on the news. Your taxes are going up. Your health care costs are going up. Your religion is going to come under attack. Gas, coal, and energy is going to become more expensive. Do you remember that list we put out a few months ago?
So Glenn seems to be taking the election well.
Philosophical.
Right, yeah, sober analysis of what went wrong for his party, changes you can make in 2016.
Yes, these are some real nuts and bolts things that we can all sink our teeth in going forward.
Poured over the exit poll data. This is what he's come up with.
Maybe the God that he prayed to is wrong.
Yeah, what happened? Why would Jesus let you down like this? Oh, that's
Maybe
a good
God
point.
liked Obama.
Thank God he's got more to say.
I will tell you, last week we purchased more farmland as a family. May I recommend, if you have a chance to buy farmland, you buy farmland.
He wants to buy the farm.
Let's buy farmland and just start farming, because you can do that in your spare time.
And farmers do so well financially.
Oh, farmers are doing great.
They're rich.
The great thing is, I was telling you in one of the breaks about Agenda 21, which is something else that these guys believe about how the government is going to come together, a big giant world government, and force people out of their farms into hobbit homes in the city. They believe this. They believe this. Guys like Glenn Beck.
Yes.
So he's not quite getting the craziness is conflicting. They're sending mixed, crazy nut job buy farms, but they're going to take your farm and force you into the city.
So it's tough to keep the crazy story straight, is what you're saying?
Very hard to keep the
Before it starts to
nutty.
contradict and fold back in on each other?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe none of them are true. I don't know. Crazy.
He keeps going.
If you live in the East, may I recommend get the hell out of the East.
Get the hell out of the East.
Oh, yeah.
How far do you have to go before you're out of the? Is it Western Pennsylvania? Is that far enough?
It's bumming me out because I was thinking of buying that farm in Virginia, and like 10 seconds later, he's like, "No, not Virginia. Nope, too far east."
I'm pretty sure Glenn Beck lives in New York.
Yeah, oh, definitely lives in New
Pretty
York.
sure he hasn't moved out of the East. I'm pretty sure somehow him and his $75 million are going to be able to ride out this Barack Obama storm. Okay, he's got more.
Find a place where you are surrounded by like-minded people, and the best way to find those people is you should probably look at the maps on how counties voted and get away as far as you can from where huge densities of people who are like, I just need FEMA to help me.
Okay, I just want to say he wants you to get away from where people voted blue. That would be where people live. You know, the cities like New York and Boston and San Francisco and Seattle and Atlanta and Chicago and Los Angeles, Minneapolis, every place where people live. Get the hell out of there.
Miami, Tampa,
Miami, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale. These people, they all voted blue. So he's saying get away from wherever they were. So basically everybody needs to go to Nebraska and listen to Larry the Cable Guy shows forever. That's really what he wants you to do.
Where people like FEMA, that's bad. Where people like FEMA,
yes,
they blew your house down. No, don't fix my house up.
Yes,
don't come
he's
rescue
upset at
me.
the people on the East Coast who took advantage of FEMA. Those assholes.
Dicks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the restaurants are great in the East. I don't know why you'd want to leave them.
Unless he's like, I mean, for example, I don't think any of us should take money from FEMA. Maybe that's who he's talking to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he's all just tired of people tired of Jews taking money from FEMA.
Let's see if he's got anything else to say.
But get your kids away from the school that is indoctrinating them that socialism is okay.
Education bad. Education bad. Cities are bad. Education bad. Democrats buy farmland if you can and move west.
By the way, you know what this is? All of it is just saying get away from the blacks. Get away from the blacks. Yeah, from the cities, the big centers, he said, where they voted the other way. And we just named them. We named it. So all he's doing is saying get away from the blacks. And, you know, with like-minded people. He didn't say you could look by the way the counties voted. Right. Not cities, by the way, counties. So get away. But I just want to tell Glenn that his listeners, they already got that message. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. All right, that's it. That's our Oh My God. We did 3 things. Thank you very much. Thanks to Ben Mankiewicz, Steve Rosenfield. All right.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Time for another installment of Oh My God.